So I just woke up and suddenly realized that January is ending today. When I'm filming this, it is January 31st. So I realized I have to make an update video about my January resolution, and moving forward, what is my February resolution going to be? So for the month of January, as you may already know, if you saw the video, I was attempting to pray 3 rosaries a day, just meditating, praying, to really setting that time aside. I don't think I mentioned it, but I was also trying to read scripture each time as well. So the idea was first thing in the morning and during lunch and last thing before bed, I would pray a rosary and then read a chapter or two of scripture. How did I do? I failed miserably. Or should I say I failed wonderfully? Because when we fail, we're simply learning, right? So this was just too much. It's weird because I feel like I really have done this before much more successfully when I've attempted to do this. But this time I just failed. I'm a busy person, all the excuses, blah, blah, blah. However, usually when I fail at something like that, I usually go big or go home. It's like I try to do way more than I can handle, bite off more than I can chew, and then it fails and I'm like, okay, not worth it, and I do none of it. This time I did not do that. I reassessed and I'm like, okay, this is not working, this is not happening, but I still want to incorporate more prayer, more scripture. So instead, what I did is I decided to pray 1 rosary in the morning, first thing before I leave the bed. And that is key because as soon as I leave the bed, I can get distracted or I can get busy with other things and then I put it off and I don't have time or whatever. So I just decide, okay, first thing in the morning before I do anything else, pray the rosary before you leave the bed, and that has been working much better. Now, I was always getting too busy or forgetting during lunch, putting the kids down to bed, etc. So I decided to read scripture, just scripture, and not try to pray a rosary because it's easy to read scripture. Guess what? It's easy to read if you can read. It's an easy thing to do. It doesn't take much time. So I still have been getting those kind of 3 moments of prayer. And that's what I've been trying to do, is set aside those moments to really reflect and connect with God and just set those times aside. That's the important thing. But a rosary was just too much. So in the morning, first thing, rosary, boom. Then I start my day. Then at lunch, I've been trying to do it right before I eat lunch. I had a reminder in my phone, but I can't always do that because I teach classes and the classes are not always at the same time. So I was sitting in class and suddenly my alarm starts going off to, time to pray. So I had to turn off the alarm. So I've been trying to read scripture right before lunch. So, I get done teaching a class or whatever, and I say, okay, I'm going to read just a chapter or page or two of scripture before moving on with my lunch. And then in bed, before I start reading my kind of leisure reading, I read some scripture. So it has been much better. I still haven't always accomplished all of those. Sometimes I've just gone straight to bed, been too tired, whatever. So it's not perfect, but it's manageable. And that was kind of my goal with doing these monthly challenges for 2019. It's like I'm trying to think of, and I suggest you try this too because I think it's really beneficial. Think of a challenge. What can I do just for a month and try it? And for me, it's been something that I've thought maybe I could incorporate this later and keep it going. So that my plan is to keep that going. So I'm going to keep doing that daily prayer and scripture reading routine. Now, what about February? In February, I've decided to fix this issue that I have about being the absolute worst at responding to emails and comments. I'm terrible at this. I don't know why. It's like I get the notification on my phone. It's like, oh, comment, email. And then it's like, okay, now I got to keep doing my life. And then I saw it. So it's like I just forget about it. And they build and build and build. And then it becomes overwhelming. And then I think, well, I can't get to those because I have to do them all at once. And that's how I think. So this is a problem. So for February, I'm just going to answer my emails, respond to your comments before going to bed. So it's going to be, let's tie it in with my nighttime prayer routine. It's also going to be, okay, respond to all the people you haven't responded to because that's just rude. I'll let you know how it goes. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Love you. Bye.